Guys, have you ever noticed how your life keeps replaying the same situations over and over again? Like it's stuck on repeat? You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that feeling of déjà vu, but not the cool kind. It's the kind where you date a different person, but they treat you the exact same way as the last one. Or you get a new job hoping for a fresh start, and within 3 months, you're dealing with the exact same toxic boss dynamic, just with a different face. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. And honestly, it makes you feel like you're going crazy. You start asking yourself, is the universe punishing me? Am I cursed? Look, I'm telling you, you aren't cursed. You aren't broken. You are just caught in something I call the subconscious echo effect. Hey everyone, Mohammed here. Welcome back. If you're feeling stuck in that loop today, I want you to take a deep breath because we are going to dismantle that cycle right now. This isn't just about thinking positive or ignoring your problems. This is about understanding the mechanics of your reality so you can finally stop fighting the shadows on the wall. Stick with me till the end, folks, because once you get this echo effect thing, once it really clicks for you, your whole reality starts shifting fast. It has to. It's law. Also, real quick, before we dive deep, I've put together a free ebook called The Magic of Affirmations. It's linked right down below. Grab it if you want to reprogram your subconscious faster. But for now, just put your phone down, get comfortable, and let's talk about why your reality is lagging behind your desires. So, let's get real about this loops thing. You decide you want to change, right? You watch a video, maybe you read a book on manifesting, and you get pumped. You say, okay, I'm done being broke, I'm done being lonely, I am a new person. You start doing your affirmations, you start visualizing, you wake up on Monday morning feeling pretty good. But then Tuesday rolls around and you check your bank account and it's still negative. Or you look at your phone and that specific person still hasn't texted back, and immediately, like in a split second, that heavy feeling in your chest comes back. You think, oh, see, it's not working. I'm just deluding myself. And just like that, you react. You get sad. You get angry. You go into fix-it mode. Here is the secret that nobody tells you clearly enough. Reality is an echo. Just think about that for a second. When you shout into a massive canyon, does the echo come back the very instant you open your mouth? No. You shout, hello, and for a few seconds there is silence, and then a few seconds later the canyon shouts hello back at you. Now, imagine if you shouted, I am wealthy, into the canyon, but while you're waiting for the echo, you hear the leftover echo from yesterday where you shouted, I am poor. So you're standing there, you just screamed, I am wealthy, but the canyon is currently playing back the recording of I am poor. What do most people do? They hear I am poor coming back at them and they panic. They say, oh no, the canyon thinks I'm poor. I need to shout louder. Or worse, they agree with it. They say, yeah, you're right, I am poor. And by reacting to the echo, they shout I am poor again, and a cycle repeats forever. This is the subconscious echo effect. Your 3D reality, everything you can see, touch, taste, and check in your bank app, is not the present moment. That is the tricky part. We think our physical world is now, but it's not. Your physical world is the past. It is a lagging indicator of who you were yesterday, last month, or even last year. It's like looking at the stars. You know how they say that when you look at a star, you're actually seeing light from millions of years ago? That star might not even exist anymore, but you're still seeing it because the light took time to travel to you. Your reality is exactly the same. The circumstances you are dealing with today, the debt, the relationship issues, the confusion, that is just the starlight of your old identity hitting your eyes. It's dead energy. It's the echo of a version of you that doesn't even have to exist anymore. But here is where we mess up. We look at the dead star, the empty bank account, and we treat it like it's a live broadcast. We treat it like it's a breaking news report on who we are. It's actually kind of funny when you step back and look at it. We're literally reacting to history as if it's the future. When you see that thing in your life that you hate, that pattern repeating, you are seeing the residual momentum of your past thoughts, past assumptions, and past feelings. That is all it is. It's smoke. But because it feels so solid, because you can knock on it, you let it determine your internal state. And this is the trap. This is the loop. Identity creates frequency, and frequency creates reality. But there is a buffer of time. This buffer is actually a blessing, guys, seriously. Imagine if every fleeting, fearful thought you had instantly manifested in front of your face. We'd all be in big trouble, right? If you thought about a pink elephant and poof, there's a pink elephant in your living room, life would be chaotic. So this time delay is a safety mechanism. It gives you a grace period to decide what you really want to embody. But we misuse this grace period. We use the delay to doubt ourselves. Let's walk through the mechanics of a loop so you can catch yourself next time. Let's say you want to manifest a loving relationship. You've been single for years, or maybe you just keep attracting people who are emotionally unavailable. That's your old identity. Let's call it Identity A. Identity A feels unworthy. Identity A expects to be ghosted. Identity A creates a reality where people ghost you. Now you decide to shift to Identity B. Identity B is loved, cherished, chosen. You do the inner work, you feel it, you meditate, you feel great for 3 days. But remember the canyon. The echo from Identity A is still traveling towards you. So on day 4, even though you are being Identity B, the reality of Identity A shows up. The person leaves you on red, or you go on a date and it's a disaster. Now this is the distinct moment of power. This right here is the crossroads. Most people look at that bad date and they say, see, this stuff doesn't work. I'm destined to be alone. And boom, they drop Identity B and slide right back into Identity A. They just reseeded the loop. They took the bait. The subconscious echo effect demands that you ignore the delay. You have to be delusional enough, and I use that word in the best possible way. You have to be delusional enough to persist in your new story, even when the old story is still playing out in 3D. It's like watching a movie you've already seen. You know the ending. If the main character gets in trouble in the middle of the movie, you don't panic because you know he wins in the end. You need to treat your life like that. When the old echo shows up, when the bill comes and you don't have the money yet, you have to look at it and say, oh, that's just the old me. That's just the echo. It's clearing out. It's not relevant to who I am now. I know. I can hear you guys through the screen right now. You're saying, but Muhammad, how can I ignore it? The rent is due. My heart is broken. It hurts. And look, I get it. I'm not saying you numb yourself. I'm not saying you pretend the 3D isn't happening in terms of taking care of your responsibilities. Pay the bill if you can. Cry if you need to. But, and this is the big but, do not let it change your internal decision about who you are. You can pay a bill while being broke, or you can pay a bill while knowing you are wealthy, and this is just a temporary glitch. The action is the same, but the internal frequency is completely different. The loop is maintained by your reaction. If you stop reacting to the echo has no choice but to die out. It has no power source. The only battery powering your past reality is your current attention. Think about that. The only battery powering your past reality is your current attention. If you withdraw your attention, if you withdraw your emotional reaction, the old reality starves. It might take a few days, a few weeks, maybe a month, depending on how much momentum you built up, but it has to die. It's physics. It cannot survive without your consciousness feeding it. But because we are addicted to the adrenaline of the struggle, we keep feeding it. We love to call our friends and say, "You won't believe what happened to me today." We love to replay the victim story. It gives us a sense of identity, even if it's a painful one. Breaking the echo effect requires you to be boring. It really does. It requires you to look at the drama and just shrug, to say, meh, not my problem. I'm already over it.
When you stop getting a high from the drama of the loop dissolves. Let's talk about the bridge of incidents for a second, because this confuses people too. Sometimes the echo looks like things getting worse before they get better. Have you ever decided to clean out a really messy closet? You decide, I'm going to have a clean, organized closet. That's your new identity. What's the first thing you have to do? You have to pull everything out. You throw the clothes on the floor. You empty the boxes. Halfway through the process, the room looks 10 times messier than when you started. If someone walked in right then, they'd say, wow, you are really bad at cleaning. This place is a disaster.
If you looked at the mess and said, I failed, I'm living in a pigsty, and you quit, you'd be stuck in the mess forever. But you don't. You know that the temporary chaos is just part of the reorganization. Your life is the same. When you start affirming for money, sometimes an unexpected bill shows up. When you start affirming for love, sometimes your current toxic partner breaks up with you. That isn't a sign it's not working. That is the echo clearing out. That is the closet being emptied so the new clothes can be put in. But so many of you see the chaos and you retreat. You run back to the safety of the known, even if the known is miserable. You have to develop what I call reality stamina. You need the stamina to hold the new frequency while the old one drains out. It's like a detox. When you stop eating sugar, you don't feel amazing immediately. You feel like garbage. You get headaches, you get cranky. Does that mean quitting sugar is bad for you? No, it means the toxins are leaving. When you stop identifying as a victim, when you stop identifying as broke, your ego is going to throw a tantrum. Your 3D reality might throw a tantrum. It's the detox. You just have to hold the line. Speaking of holding the line, this is exactly why I wrote that ebook I mentioned earlier, The Magic of Affirmations. It's all about creating that mental structure so you don't crumble when the echo gets loud. It's free, link is below, definitely check it out after the video. So how do we practically apply this? How do you wake up tomorrow and not repeat the loop? You start by becoming the observer of your reactions. That's step one. Tomorrow morning, something annoying is going to happen. It's almost guaranteed. Maybe you spill your coffee, maybe traffic is bad. Watch yourself. Do you immediately go, typical, just my luck. Today is going to suck. If you do, catch it. Freeze that moment. That is the echo trying to hook you. That is the old you trying to survive. Instead, take a breath. Pause. And say, no, that's not me anymore. I'm having a great day. This traffic is just giving me time to listen to a podcast. You have to manually override the system. At first, it feels fake. It feels like you're lying to yourself. I know people hate that feeling. I feel like a fraud, Muhammad. Good, be a fraud. Fake it. Because the real you that you think you're being is just a programmed robot replaying the past. I'd rather be a fake, happy person for a few weeks until it hardens into reality than a real, miserable person forever. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. If you consistently imagine that you are successful and you consistently refuse to accept the evidence that you are not, your subconscious has no choice. It must update the 3D to match the internal blueprint. But it waits. It waits to see if you're serious. The delay is the test. The universe is basically asking, are you sure? Do you really believe this, or are you just hoping? Hoping is weak. Knowing is strong. When you know the echo effect is real, you stop taking the 3D so personally. You stop thinking God hates you. You realize it's just mechanics. It's just lag. If you're playing a video game online and the connection lags, you don't think the game hates you. You know it's just a technical glitch. You wait for it to catch up. Treat your life with that same level of detachment. Oh, my bank account is lagging. It'll catch up to my vibration soon. See how much lighter that feels? It takes the desperation out of it. And when you remove the desperation, you remove the resistance. And when you remove the resistance, the echo clears faster. The people who manifest the fastest are the ones who are the most stubborn about their inner reality. They are unreasonable. Be unreasonable, guys. Reason says look at the facts.
but the facts are just dead echoes. Imagination says, look at the truth. The truth is what you are creating in your mind. And let's go deeper into the why of the loop. Why does the subconscious hold on to these negative loops so tightly? It's because the subconscious cares about survival, not happiness. To your ancient brain, what is familiar is safe. Even if familiar means being broke or being in a bad relationship, your brain knows you can survive it because you have survived it. Success, wealth, true love, those are unknowns. To the primitive brain, the unknown is dangerous. There might be tigers in the unknown. So when you try to change, your subconscious throws up these fear responses. It projects the old echo onto the screen of your life to try and scare you back into the safety of the cave. When you understand this, you can have compassion for yourself. You're not self-sabotaging because you're stupid. You're self-sabotaging because a part of you is trying to keep you safe. You can literally talk to that part of yourself. You can say, hey, I know you're trying to protect me, but we're safe. We're upgrading. It's okay to be happy. It sounds cheesy, but it works. You have to lower the threat level. When your nervous system relaxes, the loops lose their grip. You have to realize that you are the projector, not the movie screen. Most people live life staring at the screen, waiting for the movie to change. They scream at the screen. They try to scrub the screen, but the image is coming from the projector behind them. You are the projector. The film reel is your assumptions and beliefs. The light is your consciousness. If you don't like the movie, if you don't like the loop, you don't touch the screen. You go back to the projector and you change the reel. But remember, even after you change the reel, there might be a few frames of the old movie left in the buffer before the new picture hits. That's the echo. Don't let those last few frames fool you into switching the reel back. I want you to try something for the next 7 days. Make a pact with yourself. For 7 days, you are going to go on a reaction fast. You are going to fast from reacting negatively to your reality. When something goes wrong, you are going to be neutral. You're going to be like a scientist observing an experiment. Interesting data point. Not relevant to the outcome, though. If you can do this for just 7 days, literally just 1 week, you will see a crack in the loop. You will see a coincidence, a synchronicity, a shift in energy. That is the new echo starting to form. Because that's the good news. The echo effect works both ways. Once you stabilize the new identity, once you become the person who is wealthy and loved and healthy, reality will eventually start echoing that. And then, even if you have a bad day, even if you have a moment of doubt, the positive echo will carry you through. You'll have momentum working for you instead of against you. You'll shout, I am wealthy, and the canyon will shout back, here's a check. And then you won't even have to try so hard. That's when life gets magical. That's when it gets fun. But you have to get through the transition. You have to walk through the valley of the shadow of the old echo and fear no evil. You have to ignore the ghosts of your past self screaming for attention. They are just ghosts. They can't hurt you unless you give them your fear. Look, I know this stuff is easier said than done. I know the nights can be lonely and the pressure can be heavy. I've been there. I've stared at the ceiling, wondering if I was just making it all up. But I'm telling you, from the other side, it is real. The law is real. The only variable is your persistence. The only variable is your ability to look at the echo and say, I don't care. I know who I am. So, stop checking for results every 5 minutes. Stop digging up the seed to see if it's growing. Plant it, water it with your attention, and let the old weeds die naturally. They will die if you stop watering them with your complaints and your fears. Your reality is listening to you, not to your words, but to your feelings, to your reactions. Give it something new to listen to. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Whether you like or subscribe is totally your call. But trust me, what's coming next on Galaxy Gestalt is going to take you even deeper into this inner world mastery. We're just getting started. Keep ignoring the echo, keep feeding the new story, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.